Hi guys, this is Mama Sue, and this is the earrings we're going to be making today. They're made with Bycones, and the Bycones are about a size 5 millimeter, and the little spacer beads are about a size 3 millimeter. And then the two wires, we're using two different wires. We're going to use this kind here, which is a dark steel wire, because I really like making the hoops with this because it's so sturdy and nice, and it looks really rustic when you get done with it. Look, and it's not going in your ears, so you don't have to worry about because I buy ear wires separate when I'm using this wire. And then here's the other one I'm going to use. This is the same thing, except for it's in a different size. Now you might want to get a little thicker than this. This one's going a little too far. Just they didn't have the kind I wanted this time. And then this one is a 19 gauge here. This one was a 28, but you know, 24, 26, that's my favorite sizes on this for wrapping. Well, anyway, let's get on to this pretty little thing and see what we can do. We're going to go with the blue beads this time, just because, and then here's the spacer beads. I got lots of them. See there? I got a whole thing of them, so I don't have to worry about spacer beads. I'm going to put them right. I got to put them where you can see it. I may move this out of the way and do it right on this because it's easier to do my work right off the fabric. Because my beads don't move around so darn much. Anyway, let's get started with this thing. We've got, first we want to make our hoops. And I'm just going to do these at the same time, so they're the same size. Okay, I'm going to put them right in this plier. You can do any plier you want to, but I'm going to make sure that that it's not sticking over the top. Then I'm just going to bend straight down, just so I get a couple L's there. See those L's? Now I'm going to make the loop that's going to hold the earring. That's going to hold the that the ear wire will connect to. To do that, I'm just going to grab a different plier. Where did it go? I wish I wouldn't misplace my stuff. I just had it a second ago. I'll just grab a different one. Not a big deal. I've got a whole slew of them over there. Well, anyway, then we're going to take this, and we're going to take it about a 1/4 inch in. Whichever ones you're using, whichever ones of these round nose you're using, take it about, this is the only way to show you, take it about a 1/4 inch in. Now on this set of pliers, I normally stick it right halfway. It's a good place for it. But the basic top, when you're using this kind of wire, I like to go about a 1/4 inch in to have a big enough circle on the top of my earring. Oh, now I did something there that I didn't show you. When I came around here, I couldn't go any further because my pliers were in the way. So I had to move my pliers a little bit, and then I was able to finish going around. And that's how I got to this point. Now I'm going to Stick my pliers right back in here, right next to our little short piece of metal. And I'm just going to pull it straight down, just like that. And then we've got a nice little place to hook our ear wire on. Now I'm just going to bend this back a little bit. I'm going to put my pliers right there and just bend this back a little bit so that when I put my wires on, it has a stopping point. You know, if I'm just making the regular hoops, I'm not going to be using it that way, so I don't know why I'm telling you that. But with a lot of them, you're gonna, it's just for the future. Okay, I'm gonna get this one in there. I'm gonna go about halfway. Then I'm gonna push the wire away from me. Now it doesn't go all the way, so I move my pliers a little bit and finish going around, just like that. Then I'm gonna bring my pliers back over here to the other side, just like that, and I'm going against the wire and I'm pushing straight down. And then I've got my little place there. And I'm going to take my pliers, put them back in here again, and just pull it back. And then I've got another one of those. Now if you'll notice, because of the way I did them, they're both the same size. So that makes it kind of nice. Well, the circle might be a little bit off, but it's not enough to make a difference. And if I wanted to change that, all I got to do is move this right here. And now they're the same size. Anyway, now what I like to do is I like to find something that I can make my circles with. So here's what I make my circles with. I do it with medicine bottles, or I've got some wire bottles inside of this. And I just take something that's real firm and plastic or whatever. This was like from either string or yarn was on this. Anyway, I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to put my thumb on top of it, and I'm just going to wind this around like that, and then I'm going to try to turn it. See there? I'm just going to turn it to there. I don't want to go any further yet. I want to leave it right there. I just turned it around, and I'm leaving that round circle on the plastic. And I'm going to go over here and do the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put this right here. There's going to be one difference, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. When I come up like this, instead of going around this side, like I did on this one, I'm going to go around this side. Because of the little decoration that I'm going to put on the top of this earring, right here, you want these to be mirror images of one another. So that way, one's going one way and one's going the other way, and it looks more even. Now I want to tighten this before I take it off. So what I do to tighten it is I take this and I take the wire and I just start turning it without really going too far with it. Just like that. And then I'm going to turn it again. Now that should be tight enough right there. See how nice and tight that is on there? It's nice and tight now. Now I'm going to keep rolling it until I can stop. Until I get up to the top. See? All the way up. Now I'm going to stop right there. That's a good place to stop. Now I'm evening out my wire while it's still on this. I just want it nice and straight before I do anything else. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this off. And look how round that is. Isn't that cool? I love that it bends nicely like that. And then what I do is I put my fingers in here. Now I'm just going to take my fingers with this wire. I can, because it's not as thick as the other one. I'm just going to push my fingers down in there just to make our nice little place there. Just like that. And now we've got our ring just about ready. I'm going to get the other one to this point, and then we'll make the little rose on the top. First I want to tighten this wire. I get it as close as I can to the post part right there. I get it right there, and I just twist it up really tight there. And then let me get that back down. It tried to sneak up on me. I want that little piece to stay down because I got to wrap it. That's part of wrapping it in there. Then I'm going to start wrapping this around. See how I'm wrapping that? It's easier if you do it with pliers. Any kind of pliers that you have works great. I prefer, with this metal, I prefer something that has some grit in there. You know, some kind of, something that's going to hang, ridges. Like, no, these don't have ridges. I don't have one here with ridges today. But I like doing it because I don't have to worry about messing up this wire because I want it to look rustic. Yeah, I'm getting that up there. I've got that up there pretty high now. So I'm just straightening it out. And I want it just the same as the other one. And then I'm going to start pulling it off of here. Just turn it back and forth until it starts coming off. And there's your round circle again. So now we have 2 round circles that are mirror images of one another after I bend this. So I'm going to pull it out. Then I'm going to start pushing this in. Or shoot, I already did. Now I'm going to start putting beads on and crystals. Let me make sure these are the same first. Yeah, those are nice. Okay, now I want to make these, cut these off the same length, because when I make my my little wire roll, it's going to need to be they're going to have to be the same length. Okay, let me put this up here. Did I go one more? Let me pull this down some. Sometimes you'll have to do a little bit of, I put this in here and this down on the bottom and give it a push. And it pushes everything back together. See how it all pushed back together? Now it's like the other one. Now they're the same. Well, it's still one more on this. Still one more ring on this one. So what I will do is I will pull this up a little bit. Because I got that little piece in there, I can pull this up a little bit, which makes this hole a little bigger. And then I'm going to wrap this one more time, just to make sure they're wrapped the same amount of times. I didn't even count. Okay, let's check this out. Now if we put these together, oh, now they're very good. Now we just got to make these the same. These got to be the same cut here. So I'm just measuring up to each other, and I'm going to cut this little piece off here. Right about here. Now they're both very close in size. I can still come off a teeny bit. Just get them close. They just need to be close. And then you make your little roll. But I'm not going to make the roll until I'm done doing the beads, because then I can lay the roll right down on it after I'm done. Well, you know what? I think it'd be easier doing it this way. So we'll go ahead and do it now. I'm going to put my pliers right on the tip of that to make this. Oop. And try to make it stay on there. And I'm going to twist a little U in there. See that little U I made? Then I'm going to grab my pliers, and I'm just going to start squashing that little circle inward. See what a nice little circle we got there? So you can already see something happening to it. Now I'm just getting a good grip on it with my pliers and turning it. As I turn it, I'm making the roll. There it is. Now I do like the roll on this kind of earrings. The last pair I did not like it on. Don't even know why, but it just did. It hit me wrong. So I had to take it off right away. So no, I can't live with this. If I'm making it, I want it the way I like it to really present itself nicely. And if it's for if I want it fancy, I'll make it fancy. And it's just some of them don't go with that. Some of them just don't look right with it. There we go. Now I've got that one on there already made. Now we've got to do the other one. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little roll there. Now we're going to do this one. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to grab this tip and roll it upward and make a U. There's our little U. Let me get this out of the way. See there? There's the little U. Now we want to squash it. I'm going to start squashing it inward. I want it to have a nice little... Now a lot of people just cut that tip off and go that route, but I really don't have to worry about it with this kind of wire. I mean, because it's really forgiving, because you're making it out of this because you want it to look more rustic. Or I don't know if it's called bohemic. I don't remember what it's called. But see how I'm getting that to go? Now it'll go real easy. Once you get past that tip, you're in good shape. Oh, this is rolling up nice. Now we're going to turn it and lay it down. If you haven't noticed, I'm making this pair of earring a little smaller than the others. I didn't have to, but It just seems like a lot of people like the smaller ones, and I have certain places I like to donate, and they like the smaller earrings. So that way I can get, but I'm going to start doing an itchy channel before long. I just haven't gotten around to it. Maybe I'll even do little kits or something so that you guys can just like get on it with the same kind of beads I use. Well, some of them I can't because some of them are, you know, the old-time beads that came from necklaces. You know, but here we go. Now we got the two of them, and they're both going in different directions. See how both of them are spinning in different directions? And that's why I did them the way I did. That's why when you have it on this thing, that's when you put it the way that it needs to go to come out mirror images. And these are definitely a mirror image of one another. Now we're going to start wire wrapping them. Like I said, this is not a super hard. This is not super hard to do. It's just one of those little things. Now I'm going to pull some of this out. Oh, probably about a little over a foot. I can always add more on later, but I don't like to work with no, I'm going to go about 10 inches. I don't like to work with big pieces because I know that I can add more on. It's not a big deal. It won't even show. Anyway, I'm going to take this little piece of wire and I'm just going to wrap it right underneath that cinnamon roll, and then just kind of roll it around right here just to get it started. And that's okay. And I'm going to take my pliers and I'm just going to put it right on that little piece that's sticking out, and I'm going to turn it so it gets smooth with the metal. See there? Now it's ready to start doing our thing. Wait, hang on a minute. I have to bring this the other way because I have to wire wrap this way. So I'm going to bring this around like this, and I'm going to come over like this. I always want my wire to come over the top to wire wrap. It's my preference. You know, I mean, you don't have to do it that way, but that's how I like to do it. And I'm going to use these cute little beads here. I'm going to put one of those on. Then I'm going to just push that down with my thumb. You see how I pushed that wire down with my thumb, and then I just pulled it through. And I'm going to close that. I'm going to wrap this around a couple times. And I'm going to grab my next bead, which is one of these. Because we're just going back and forth. That's right now is the biggest and longest part of doing this earring, because you're having to wrap so much. Now you see this, how there's spaces in between. Well, that's all right, because I'm wire wrapping it like this, I'll be able to push it up to the top as we go. See how I push that up there to the top? That is going to be just perfect. So don't even worry about it. Okay, I got another one of these, which I am going to put some of these down here because I don't like having to work on this. These are not all the same beads, so I'm going to put a few down there to make sure I'm getting the right ones. I've just got, I'm down to a certain amount. Now see, I'm putting the next one on. Ooh, this looks good with this, with these kind of spacer beads. Yes, that will go well. Albies have a hard time seeing the holes in these little ones. Or dark ones. Oh my gosh, black is the worst. It's so hard to see the hole in it. Now I'm going to get another one. And that's the wrong kind. There we go. These are the round Bycones. I really like the round ones. I think they just have a classier look to them. They don't cost any more from what I've already gotten. I haven't found a difference in price. But then I get mine most of the time online, and it takes me forever to get here, but that's all right. I got a better price. I get them before I need them. Okay, I'm going to push this up now. And you really don't have to push it up. It's up to you how high you want that. But look how gorgeous that blue's going to look on there. I love that. This can be a real pretty earring. Okay. Another one. I just put another bead on Bycone, which is a glass bead in this case. Okay, now we need a silver one. Now we're a third of the way through, so it doesn't take a long time. You just gotta now don't try to sew your metal through. If you try to sew your metal through, you're going to get knots, and the knots will drive you nuts. Then you have to undo them and all that fun stuff. Crystal. Shoot, I might have to keep this pair. I really like it. Already, and it's not even done. Okay, see, it came up, the wire comes up from the back. I pull it down a little bit and I hang on to it while I wrap this wire twice. Hang on to that bead. Wrap the wire twice. Gives it a little stronger place down there. Now this is looking really cute. We're almost halfway there. Look at that. Oh, it's so shiny and pretty. Love this. There's my next one. Now these do take a little time, but the thing is these are so unique, and you're not going to find them in the store. They make great gifts, and you don't need a lot of supplies. You do need a hardware store. I have one store in town. I have I have grocery store. We have one grocery store and we have one Walmart. We're a small town. So that's why I started going to the different stores, like the hardware store, to see if they had wire and stuff like that. Then I started just sampling these things out. I've not had anything happen to one of these earrings. They've stayed beautiful when I've made them. I haven't had any problems, and my daughter's had her earrings, some of them for years. The only thing I wouldn't do is use it in my ears to make my ear wires. I would use something, either get yourself some ear wires online or from a hobby shop, hobby store. Joann's has it. Walmart has them. Not all Walmarts, though. I noticed that they're stopping their sewing crafty areas as much as they used to. They're getting rid of a lot of stuff, which is really disappointing. Most of them don't even have fabric now. Mine still does, because we're still a small town, and a lot of people sew. There's a lot of, like, I don't know if it's Amish, or there's a lot of people that do a lot of sewing out here. And they come into town and shop for it down there. But they do give you a good price. Now see, I'm getting low on my wire. This is not going to go all the way. So I'm definitely going to have to add another piece. But that's okay, because it won't show. I promise you. Just will not show. Because of the style we're doing here. Now I'm going to go ahead and roll this off. Okay, now I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to show you how I add another piece. Now I'm going to take that little bitty piece right there, lay my pliers over it, and just turn it. So I can just smooth it in with the other wires. Okay, that one looks pretty good. Now I'm going to try to move some of this downward. No, I don't think I need to. That looks pretty good. Don't really need to move it a lot. Right here I do. There. Okay, that is just looking stunning. As we go, it just gets prettier and prettier. See there? And see the reds with it? I mean, they just make gorgeous earrings with these little Bycones. And for the longest time, I didn't know what to do with them except for use them as spacer beads. But we're finding out that you can use them to make some really pretty earrings. Okay, now let me get my other wire. So I wanted to show you. Okay, here's that pack that I had. And the maker is Hillman. Now I'm pulling off some of my wire here. That's not pulling off very easily, but it's about the same size I used before. I'll start with this or finish with it, whichever one, on the next pair of earrings. So what I like to do is go 2 or 3 jewels in and just start wrapping right there, just to give it a nice firm hold there. Then I'm going to wrap around this one. Then I'm going to come over here and wrap around this one. And now we're ready to put the next bead on. But we're going to cut this little piece off and squash it down before we do anything else. Let's find it first. It's hiding from me. I don't know where it went. But like I told you, it's not going to show. Okay, I'm going to put one of these on now. And we're going to finish this earring up and start on the next one. And then you'll see how to start that up again and finish it off. Let's see there. Got that on there. Go it around a couple times. That's enough on that one. Grab another crystal. Roll over and hold the crystal in place while you're pushing this wire down. Gets a little touchy once you get near that top because you got a skinny area there. Hold it in place because you want to get it firm in place. Push it down with my thumb and grab it with my fingers. Put my next bead on. Now I'm going to show you some variations of this after I get, probably in my next video I'll show you a variation of this earring. I mean, you can make them as small or as large as you want to make them. Sure, you can even take a cup out and make a big, big, big hoop. It's up to you, and there's a lot of people that like those big hoops. And they actually look so pretty on them, but I don't like the way they look on me. I do like longer dangly earrings though. And I like these kind. Because they're dressy and cash. They can be both because of the kind of metal we're using. It'll pretty much go with a pair of jeans. You know, so you can wear it with just about anything. Okay, we're almost there. I think I'm going to have one more crystal. Wait, will I need one more crystal or not? I don't even think I'm going to need another crystal. Well, I'm going to try one more crystal. I would kind of like to fit another crystal in there, just so that it's the same on both sides. I like things being even. Even Steven. Okay, I'm going to try to pull this down some so that I can put one more crystal on. Yeah, I just made myself just enough space for another crystal. So I'm going to grab this one. And I'm going to just play with it until it goes right where I want it to go. And no, I got it. And it went right in that space. So this is going to work just fine. Now I've got to get it, just put that wire through the middle of it. I want to do it a couple times because come on, get in there. I want to do it a couple times so it's nice and strong. I'm just rolling that wire. That didn't come through all the way. Don't want to get it knotted. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm just going to move this up for a minute just so I can check this out. Pull this down a little bit. Pull this one down. Yeah, much better. Now I'm going to just wind around this like this. I'm just doing a circle around it. Then I'm going to come up in the middle and wind around right here. And then I'm going to cut that little sucker off. Then I'm going to squash it down. Oh, that's a tricky little sucker. Okay. There we go. Ooh, that looks so nice. Let me show you how nice that looks. Isn't that pretty? Now the last thing I have to do to this is I have to put a wire on it. So I'm going to come over here and get myself a wire, ear wire, because we don't want to use this wire for our ears, so we want to use a store-bought, or these ones I got off eBay. They seem to always work really well, and the bead stays on real nice, so I don't have to glue it once because I like to bend my crazy earrings to straighten them. And this one has a little lump in it that keeps the bead in place. I don't have to glue it. Oh, now looky there. Is that gorgeous or what? Those are just amazing the way they come out, and it's so simple and so inexpensive. Okay, let's get our last one, and we will be all set, and we'll have a great pair of earrings. Okay. Let me get a few more of these because I'm running out of that one kind that we needed. Okay, now we're going to start off like I did before. We're going to start off with a wire. Oh, here it is. The thin wire. I cannot find the beginning of my wire. Don't know what I did with it, but it does not want to come up. I think I'm finding the end piece of it instead of the beginning. So what I'm going to have to do is just cut myself a piece off. I'm just going to cut a piece off. I don't want to fight it. Now, because this is so long, I don't want it this long to work with it. I'm just going to cut it down, and I'll use it later when we get near the end, like we did with the other earring. We're going to do the same thing. Now, remember, we want our wire to go over this way. We want it to go, I'm going to wind this around like this. Then I'm going to have it just turning the, I'm just wrapping it on there so it has a place to stay. Then I'm going to, when it's firm enough on there is when I switch over and start putting beads on. Okay, now I want this to go this way. So I'm going to start wrapping that way. Ooh, that feels pretty firm. So I'm just going to stop right there. This will do the job. Okay, there we go. We're starting off again. We're going to down and around and around. Then we pick up one of these little spacers. Or if I look at this really good, this might be a spacer bead. I don't know. Okay, now we'll put our next bead. I'm doing these together at the same time so you can see how long it's going to take you to make a pair of earrings. It might take you a little longer than me, and that's just because I've handled the wire a lot more. But once you get used to it, you could make such beautiful earrings and not have to pay a lot of money for them. Because I have seen these things so expensive online. Oops, I gotta go this one. Now we're going to grab another bead. I'm holding on to that bead while I'm doing this. You know, now I don't double on every one of them. Just where I feel like it needs a little bit more support, that's when I double the wire. You can kind of tell while I'm doing this what I'm doing. Let me see. Here's another one. Oops, wrong one. I gotta get this one. Now we're at that quarter point again. Hold on to the crystal, winding around, and we're coming closer to the middle, so I'm going to go double. Here's another one. But wait until I show you these other earrings. You're going to love what a variation you can do with just this kind of stuff, you know? You don't need a million beads or anything. All you need is a little time and patience. And you can even make your beads. You can make paper beads and make some really awesome jewelry out of that. I've already done it, and I sold it last year at Christmas time. And people loved it. They loved that it was handmade. They loved it. But I use a wood hardener on it because I like it to be really hard like a bead. And that is not my idea. Well, it kind of is, but I mean, I thought of it, and then I never went through with it. And then I saw a video where this woman was using, no, not a movie. It was I think it was on Pinterest. You know how you can click their things and it'll take you to another page? I think it was on there where she was showing 3 different ways of hardening paper beads. And it was just really cool that they showed that, because I thought of that before, and I go, oh wow, man, it does do something with it. And the reason that it works so well is because wood hardener is used on like windows and stuff where you've got rot from the rain and water stuck in there, or bug attacks and all kinds of things. And you put that wood hardener in there and like let it soak into the wood real good, and it makes it really hard. Then you just putty it up, and you have your window back to new. Well, kind of. But that's why I know that wood hardener is something special. It's pretty expensive though, but you're not going to use a lot, because you only put it in there the first time, and then you can do some cute tricks with it. I saw this one girl on YouTube she put like a top coat on the beads, and then she dipped it into wood hardener, and it gave it a whole different texture than a regular. It gave it a real bubbly, cool looking texture, and just made it really beady looking. I mean, it looked like a regular bead the way she did it. It looked really cool. I'll have to do a video on those and put her in there so that you guys can go right to her and check her out. but I'll have to find it first. Yeah, I think she was from overseas, or I don't think she was in the United States. She had that really cute accent. But you'll have to see that. You'll have to see. I'm saving up some stuff right now. I've got to remake all of my beads. I was going to start doing a session on paper beads, and I had so many different varieties made up. And when we moved, somehow my whole box of the different ones that I was going to put online disappeared, and so I couldn't show them, and I didn't remember how I made some of them. So, I mean, it'll be interesting trying to remember all that. But shoot, I've burned them, and I've used embossing powder on them, and I've glazed them. It's just, it's fun. Fun. And I think I have everything for paper tools. I mean, to do different things. I really like doing these, though. But I was shocked how many sets I made of those paper beads, and they all sold. And they weren't cheap either. You gotta take your time, consideration for your time. And then there's also, you can make wood earrings. You can buy those little wood pieces that are already cut out for you, and you can take a wood burner and burn some cool designs in them and just stain them, and they look so pretty like that. Also, you can find different colors of paper that you like and put that paper on them, and then use your wood hardener to harden it real good. Okay, I'm going to have to cut this off right here. I'm visiting too much, and I don't want to come up too short. Okay. Oh, we'll use that old piece we have. This will probably, well, wait. Where's the other piece? Oh, here's the other one. Okay, now I like to go two beads in. See there? And I'm going to wrap that right there. Just going to wrap it a couple times. Then I'll pull it a little bit. It kind of locks it. And I'm going to go around this one, because that's what we did when we were making the jewelry, when we were adding beads on. So you want to act like you're just adding these two on as you're coming up. Now I want to add a bead. But I'm going to cut this part off first. Remember how we cut that off? And I couldn't find where it was, where the place was. Here we are again. Well, I'm just going to put a little push there because I'm not finding it. I don't feel anything. Well, if you don't feel it, you're going to be all right. Okay, I'm going to put one of those on, and see how it's nice now. I mean, it's back to normal, and it doesn't show. So, I mean, it just makes for a great way to not have to have all that metal in your hand. I don't like having so much wire in my hand. That's the only thing I don't like about wire wrap, is all the metal. Just trying to handle all that metal. Now we're I'm trying to think how I want to do this time. You know, I got enough space there, so I'm going to go ahead and push this up. I'm pushing all these beads up. Be careful that you do not break your crystals. If you scrunch them up too much, you could possibly break one. Oh, I gotta go with one of these first. Now we're gonna go with the crystal. If we can fit that thing in there. I'm gonna pull this up a little bit. See if we have some space. Okay, I'm gonna find a small one. Let's just get this one. Now I'm going to try to fit that in there and go through it to attach it real nice. See, I just put that in there and almost broke my crystal. Okay. Now I'm going to go around here again. Now I'm going to go around this way. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to come up through to finish off that one crystal, that last crystal. I'm going to finish that off. I'm putting the wire straight through and I'm winding it at the same time. But now I'm going to cut that off and just kind of squash it somewhere. Just be careful that I'm not squashing anything I shouldn't be squashing. Ah, very nice. Now that's all there is to it. I mean, it took a while to do it, but the thing is when you have spare beads and stuff, you can do incredible things with them if you already have wire available. Now I'm gonna get my last earring wire, and I pulled this up because I don't like them. I like them straight, because then they don't stick out on my ear. I'm gonna pull that straight up. It's not out, because we don't want to weaken that wire. I'm going to stick that on there. And I'm going to scrunch it in place. And there we have a new set of earrings. Look how cute these are. And they've got that cute little roll there. And they're both going in opposite ways, if you notice. They're going opposite directions. So they just are adorable. And then, where'd the other one go? Well, anyway, that's what I had for you tonight. And here's the other one. Now, this is quite a bit bigger. Oh, let me put it on here and let me show you how they look. If you made up a bunch of these for a boutique, you'd probably go nuts with them, because I just get these little jewelry things here. Okay, and that's how they look when you get them on their folder. Aren't they gorgeous? It just makes, you can make so many different colors with these kind of beads. And all you need is little spacer beads, or, you know, you don't have to have the spacer beads. I just think they look classier with the spacer beads. That's why I do it like that. And sometimes I'll put the little flower spacer beads in, but this was just something different. Anyway, that's what I got for you today. God bless and keep y'all safe.